December is a hot show. And last day,
Welcome back after the break. It's time for Turncoat Debate Seniors. This is me, Suzanne Ali, signing in with Nihal, Ajmal and Benzia.
Good morning, one and all. Respected President of the School Management Committee, Mr. Ram Santana, distinguished guests, all the dear students, teachers. So it's the third day of the CCA Fest, and as you know, you're going to witness one of the most vibrant competition, Turncoat Debate. We'll be starting it immediately. So to begin with, I invite Anne Leah to do the welcome speech.
Arguments from a pretty mouth are unanswerable. Honorable President, School Management Committee, Mr. S. Ram Sandhanam, esteemed members of SMC, respected Principal Mr. T.R. Brown, Vice Principal Mrs. Omna Matthews, Assistant Vice Principal Mr. S. Srinivasan, judges, HODs, teachers, and my dear friends, good morning. I feel really honored to stand before you.
Thank you, Anlia. So before we start, I would like to brief about the event. Turncoat is a form of debate where the speaker literally debates against himself. The speaker starts by taking a stance on the topic and switches side after a specific duration of time. He or she has to think on both sides and speak for and against the topic. The rules of the competition. There will be 2 participants from each house. Topics will be given to all participants 30 minutes before the commencement of the competition. This is the highlight of this program. It's very competitive as the topic is just given 30 minutes before and they are not allowed to have any reference to any internet, any books or no assistance or guidance from any of the teachers. They have prepared it on their own within the short span of time. You can give a big round of applause for that. Thank you. All the participants, after the preparation of 30 minutes, will be seated in the auditorium throughout the competition. Each speaker will get 1.5 minutes each to speak for and against the topic and 1 minute to sum up the thought. So bell will be ring after each 1.5 minutes. Value points, number of points to support the views for and against, debating style, formal language, clarity of speech and pronunciation, overall effect, posture and confidence. The participants are allowed to refer the points, but reading is not allowed. Negative marking will be done for reading. Welcome, sir. So we have our CCA Chairman, Dr. Debashish, among us. I welcome you to this event, sir. Thank you, sir. And I welcome all the distinguished guests. Dr. Rehan Raina, Action Researcher, Marketing Practitioner. Dr. S. Jamil, Chairman, Parents Coordinating Committee, Vice Chairman, Academic Committee, Member SMC and Dean of Tofa University. And Mr. C.T. Ramaswamy, HOD, English Department. So let's all enjoy a wonderful program here. I need proper cooperation and please do encourage them with a big round of applauses whenever you feel that they have done a good work.
Honorable Chairperson, respected members of the jury, my worthy fellow participants, and all the trailblazers of tomorrow. Today, I'll be debating on the topic, competition is necessary for the learning process. And first, I would like to go for the motion. To quote the Greek poet Sappho, without a contest, no greatness was ever born. This is the quote I always remind myself before getting on stage for any competition. And the very reason we are all here today ready for a competition is a testimony that competition is a very important part in the learning process. It teaches us very important life skills. Did you know that a 2015 study by Dr. Tristan Reinbart actually found that children who take part in competitive setup are more likely to learn faster? This is because it can help us manage stress very easily. A person who has taken part in more competitions and has experience of winning and losing may take success and failure in the same way and can actually cope up with the stress in this corporate world. Today, success and failure, they just come every day, and many people find it very hard to cope up with it. And this gives us a lot of exposure. Competition gives us a lot of exposure to such a setup. Secondly, competition helps us to hone our skills, to brush up our talents and become better human beings. It makes us more talented and helps us to make sure that all the facets of our personality are shown. Now I would like to turn the quote and go against the motion. Competition may have many positive facets, but it can actually create a lot of stress and peer pressure on the students. A person may be crushed under the pressure of competition. And did you know that suicide rates in reality television shows and other competitions on large scale setup have actually gone high in the past decade? Many people find it tough to cope up with the stress of reality television shows. Another point is that children may get very disheartened when they actually go for a competition and lose by putting so much of preparation and time into it. And then we may lose a lot of learning time also. That is my next point, that teachers can actually spend more time on interacting with students and helping them understand the chapters better if we didn't have to lose a lot of time on competitions. So competitions can actually take a lot of time from academics and may actually try to, reduce their performance in their academic setup. Now, to conclude, I feel that like everything, like every debate's cliche, most used phrase, like everything, competition has two faces like a coin. The positive facet and the negative facet. The positive facet is that it makes us true human beings. It gives us the power to face the world. When we compete, when we learn by contest, we understand how to analyze the world, how we see a sample of the society here. The audience, they show me how the society will respond to the way I speak. But on the negative facet, it can create a lot of stress. It can make us you can make us sweat a lot. And that, in the end, if you don't win, it can make dishearten the students. And also it takes a lot of time. So I would like to remind everyone about a quote by Abraham Lincoln. He said that if you see competition, if you see success and failure like the east and west door of the house, then you may soon own the couch in the living room. Thank you.
Judges, please note, just number 6 on the dice.
In the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which helps you to transform the world. But can social networking lend a helping hand in it? It's a thing to think about. A very good morning to one and all present here, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I'm standing before you to present my views for the Turncoat debate on the topic, social networking technologies bring out great changes in educational methods in and out of the classroom. Today, we're living in the era of social networking technology where we cannot imagine our lives without it. So we are so addicted to it that we cannot live without it. First, I would like to propose my points for the motion. Social networking technologies are the best medium which make teaching more interacting, more interesting, and more attractive. It can basically replace the monotonous way of teaching that we learn in our classrooms, where our teachers keep on teaching us, we take down notes. But when we learn something through audio, through graphics, we understand it much better. Researchers have proved that an average student understands much better when he's taught in the form of teaching. Many education portals like Merit Nation, Khan Academy help to integrate students globally across the world where they can share their ideas and views. Now, I would like to turn my coat and express my points against the motion. How can social networking replace the great epitome of knowledge, intelligence, experience, our teachers? How can it do that? Our teachers are the guiding light. They help us understand concepts better. Many of us may think that clearing our doubts on these social networking technologies is much easier. But let me clear this misunderstanding. Teachers help us to understand our concepts better. All these portals that we see nowadays, don't you think that all of us must be thinking that there are these experts which clear our doubts? But most of these are not from great institutions. They must be college students. Our doubts cleared may be sometimes misleading. Often students, they tend to deviate from what they are actually wanting to do. They often beat around the bush and do not study and waste the most important time of their life. Lastly, I would like to conclude by saying social networking technologies is just like a rat trap. Once a person is addicted to it, can never come out of it. Why not we use this blessing in disguise as a great source for ourselves? We find that these social networking technologies is in one end where they can help us to its immense, in the other end they can pull us down. So we students, we know that this part of our life, that's the schooling life, is the most important part where we should make immense use of it and gain as much knowledge as we can. So why not use social networking technologies in a better way, in a way in which it can enhance our knowledge? And along with that, with the support and guidance of our teachers, why not we just be in the top of the world? Thank you.
Judges, please note, chess number 2 on the dice.
Respected chairperson, members of the jury, and to everyone gathered here, a very good morning to you all. Today, I will start by speaking for the motion, advertisements are misleading. A large number of corporate networks today advertise their products. However, all of us have experienced a case where we see the products being advertised in a way that shows their best features and not the downsides. Let me give you an example of cereals. Almost every company that makes breakfast cereals advertises them as a product that is healthy, safe, and nutritious, especially for young children. However, if you ever looked at the box, you would have noticed that cereals have large amounts of sugar, which is extremely unhealthy, especially for young children as a breakfast food. Another example would be sports companies. Almost every sport product that is advertised, be it energy drinks or sports outfits, show that they give us immediate performance boosts. But have you ever tried any of them and see whether they actually help you? Most of them have very small amounts of advantages for us. And the third and final example would be that of Maggi, a product that is well known to all of us. For years, Maggi was advertised as a product that was safe, healthy, and fairly nutritious. However, a research carried out a few years ago in India showed that Maggi contained amounts of lead and MSG, which is unhealthy to people. Now I will turn the court and speak against the motion. I remember a few years ago, Merit Nation released an ad for its products, and in a country like Oman, the service Merit Nation was not even heard of. So do you really think advertisements are misleading? In many cases, advertisements actually help us know of things that we would not have otherwise even heard about. A clear example would be that of government ads. A lot of countries have ads that show the people their rights. For example, in India, the government has been constantly advertising the Consumer Rights Act, which has led to a lot of people fighting for their rights and showing consumers what they can do. Showing the shop sellers what they can do. We see that today in this world, one thing is lacking, and that is common sense. It seems people do not have the sense today to check whether the advertisements are right or wrong. They blindly believe whatever the advertisements say. Of course, they spread out and reach a lot of people, but have you ever questioned the advertisements? Have you ever checked whether the information is true or not? I would like to end saying that an advertisement is like a double-edged sword. You can use it to kill someone, but you can also get cut while using it. Because advertisements are used for spreading knowledge, but at the same time, a lot of companies have been misusing them, sharing information which may not be correct about their product. Thank you.
Students, you're kindly requested to be silent. I hope all of you are enjoying the show, right? So please do cooperate in a proper manner. Thank you. Judges, please note, just number 4 on the dais.
Have you been more impacted by your peers or teachers or by your parents? Or have you been imbibed more values by your parents or by your peers and teachers? It's a topic to think about. Honorable Chairperson, members of the jury, and my dear friends, I'm here to speak for the motion that students imbibe more values from parents than their teachers. The mother is the first and the most important teacher for a child. You can be understood by your mother more than anyone else. So, the values which are being imbibed in your heart by your mother stay with you for a long time. And when she imbibes more values, it is like you are being imbibed with more values. Values such as respect to family members, elder persons begin at home. Our parents teach us how to behave to strangers or to elderly persons. Then, at home, there is complete supervision. When you do something wrong against the social norms or values, or the good values, your parents are always there to correct you. And this way, more values are imbibed. When you are born, from the moment you are born, your parents are concerned about how to bring you up. So they take the maximum responsibility for imbibing good values in you and transforming or molding you into a good individual. Now, I would like to turn my code and speak against the motion that students are imbibed more values by parents than teachers. It is the teachers who are trained to understand the psychology of students, so they will be able to embed more values in students. Values such as caring and sharing come from the peers around you. From a small age, you must have seen poor students, and you will be having a heart to help them by sharing your lunchbox or your pencil. That is how values such as caring and sharing is being embedded. Then students become disciplined at school because there are certain times when a student should learn a particular subject or for their recess, games, etc. So they develop the habit or the value of self-management, and that is a good value. Many other values are imbibed from the school. The teachers mold the children into good personalities. I would like to conclude by stating that values are imbibed both from the home and from the school. It is you who should try to take the best from everywhere you can find. Thank you.
Judges, please note, just number 8 on the dice.
Respected chairperson, members of the jury, and my dear friends, today I stand before you on the topic, sports have become more commercial in today's world. I strongly believe that sports have become more commercial in today's world. Let's just take an example of IPL match. I'm sure you all must have seen it. There are so many foreign players who have been playing in the IPL matches. It's obvious that they were playing for money. There are so many brands in the name of sports. There are so many people over here, or the students, who buy a lot of products because they are branded and they are on the names of sports. There are so many clubs, and so many clubs have been formed in the names of sports, and sports have been commercial in today's world. I would like to turn my coat against the motion. I'm sure all of you take part in clusters. You take part in cluster selections, it's just because you want to represent your school. It's just because you want to represent your school, not because you want to get a gold medal or a silver medal. There are a lot of people who take part in sports not because they want to earn money or they want to have name or fame, but because they want their nation or the team for which they are playing to win. I would like to conclude by telling that sports have not become more commercial in today's world. Thank you.
Children, judges, please note, just number 7 on the dice. I humbly request the teachers to please help in cooperating and maintaining discipline.
In this 21st century, where online learning has been far outpaced with classroom teaching, a big question that arises is that can virtual classrooms replace teachers? Respected judges, my fellow contestants, and my dear friends, today I'm going to debate on the topic that virtual classrooms can replace teachers. First, I would like to speak for the topic. Virtual classrooms can replace teachers. Why I feel this is because in virtual classrooms we get an on-hand experience where we can compete with students across the globe and can compete with them at an international level. Also in virtual classroom learning, what happens is that the teachers, the existence of teachers is not there. So you can ask your doubts more clearly. The students who feel difficulty asking doubts in the class can ask their doubts more confidently in the virtual classrooms. There are batch discussions where you can get extremely good questions and you can solve them, and can also help you compete for competitive exams like IIT and AIPMT. Also, online teaching helps because you can just maintain your own pace of learning. You need not worry about others. Like suppose in the classroom, some students may ask some doubts which can disturb your pace of learning. So in online classrooms, you can ask your doubts more clearly and you can study in a better way. Now, turning my quote, I would like to say that virtual classrooms cannot replace teachers. Virtual classrooms cannot replace teachers because most of the times we have seen that virtual classrooms, the cost is extremely high and cannot be affordable by all the parents. So I think that virtual classrooms cannot replace teachers. Also, in virtual classrooms requires a computer and internet, which is not like available with everyone in the country. So the students have to mostly rely on traditional classrooms. Also, the fact that virtual classrooms require technology which is sophisticated and cannot be understood by everyone. So, summing up, I would like to say that virtual classrooms are good. It depends on the students and on how he can learn. But the total existence of classroom teaching cannot be diminished because of virtual classrooms. It can just be taken as a supportive material which can help you to gain more knowledge and can help as a revision method. So, thank you.
Judges, please note, chess number 3 on the dais.
Social media, an angel with horns. Honorable Chairperson, members of the jury, and my dear friends, a warm greeting to all of you gathered here. My debating topic for today is that social media is a boon for today's students. Firstly, I would like to speak for the motion. Any information required today is just a click away. And in the internet, the most useful thing that we have is the social networking sites. Now, how do social networking sites help students? Firstly, they help us in academics. Any of us, if we require anything that has been missed in classroom, we just text our friend and we require it. And immediately we get an image. Now, this is how social networking sites have helped students like us. Secondly, for students who are away from their parents, social networking sites have increased their communication levels because it is difficult for us to call our parents immediately if we require any help. Thirdly, social networking sites help students kept updated. We just need to go on the social networking sites and it is available to us. Now I would like to turn my coat and speak against the motion. Social networking sites, are they really helpful for us? Every reaction has an equal and opposite reaction. In today's world, students waste a lot of time on social networking sites. We tell our parents that we are using the social networking sites, but are we really doing the right thing? Diversion is the major problem when we use these social networking sites. We spend hours and hours on social networking sites and get carried away by the talks of our friends. Social networking sites also make us very lazy. How many of us have access to the library? We don't in this present day. We think that everything available on social networking sites is real, and the fact is not true. All of us have lost our communication skills. We have lost our language. We often use the language that we text in exam papers which don't help us at all. To sum up, I would like to say that social networking sites is like a toy given to a student. Now it is in our hands how we use it. Social networking sites can be a boon if we control ourselves.
Now we have the last participant of the event. Judges, please note, just number 1 on the dais.
Respected chairperson, members of the jury, and my dear audience. Today I'll begin by speaking for the motion, happiness is proportional to income. Let me take you on a small trip to India. You own a huge BMW car. You're driving through the streets, and then suddenly the traffic light turns red. And a beggar comes by, begging for money with a little child who's crying. You decide, who's truly happy in life? The man who has every single thing he needs, children who are educated, a villa, a house, every single thing that he would possibly desire. And then there's the beggar, begging shamefully in front of his own child for something that he needs to survive. I'm pretty sure that as summer vacation is approaching, most of you might be traveling to your dream locations. Happy holidays. It's because of your parents' income that you're able to travel to the places that you want to go to. I'm pretty sure that these locations truly make you happy in life because you get to spend time with your family, visit places you've never seen before. Thirdly, consider 2 men, each in their deathbeds. One of them has raised a child who's the CEO of a billion-dollar company. He has everything, he has his family, they're all educated, they're living the dream life. On the other hand, we have a man in his deathbed whose son is an international criminal who's committing various crimes just to get money for his own family. Who do you think will truly be happy in life? Now I'd like to turn my coat and speak against the motion. Happiness doesn't have to be from worldly pleasures, material things in life. These things don't really make you happy. You decide what makes you happy. It's the people who love you, the family, the friends that you have. It's these people who are truly caring for you that make you happy in life. It's your hobbies, the things you're passionate about, things you love doing. These are the things that will make you happy, not money. Consider the people in the villages. They don't have much, but they have their family, they have the peace, they don't have all the pollution in the air and the noise from the traffic. They're happy, and so are you. When we consider all those people out there who have everything they need, yet are not loved, consider all those rich children whose parents give them everything they want, but not what they need. They might need love, affection, and care. Not just all these worldly pleasures, not this money, not this education. Yes, we do need education, but when nobody loves you, when you're left all alone, just surrounded by all these things that make up your world, things that don't really matter, will you truly be happy? I don't think so. Happiness doesn't depend on all these other factors around you. Happiness, I believe, depends on you. You decide. If you want to be happy, you be happy. If you don't want to be happy, well, that's your choice. In conclusion, I'd like to say that happiness, yes, income, your money, the education you're receiving, everything else, your health, all these things do matter. But in the end, if you're not loved, if you're a lonely island, if nobody really cares for you, I'm sorry, but happiness won't come from such things. It's when you know that people love you in this world, that you desire, that you're wanted, that you're admired by people, that people want to be in your position, not because of all the things that you have, no, because of the fact that you are actually loved. It's because of the fact that you know that the God you love the most cares for you too. It's because of the fact that everybody around you really, really, truly loves you. This is what gives you happiness. And yes, these things like income, all monetary pleasures, all these benefits, your debit card, your credit card, all these things, yes, they are important, but they won't make your life much more better than everybody else's. Thank you.
Thank you, children, for the wonderful cooperation, and a big round of applause once again for this wonderful performance here. Thank you. Now I humbly request Dr. Rian Raina, Action Researcher, Marketing Practitioner, to share his views about the program. Sir, please.
Is it working? Yeah. Morning, everybody. It's really wonderful for me to be amongst the students for the first time as a judge. I won't take much time of yours other than congratulating all the participants out here and to understand that the debating skills which they have inculcated and which have been put into these young students by the teachers is very commendable. All I want to say at this juncture is learning doesn't end. And that is what I would like to convey to the participants out here, that this is also another stage, another chapter of learning the skills which is required for the lifelong process. It reminds me again, as the the contestants were mentioning about the quotes, you know, I love the quotes which I've mentioned out here. It reminds me of Michelangelo, who said at the age of 90 that he was still learning. Imagine at the age of 90 a person learns. So that signifies very clearly that learning never ends. It's a continuous process. If we understand this, I think there is no end to happiness, you know, to end. So make it a point that if you have to achieve happiness, learning has to be inbuilt, and progress and success will always be there. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, sir, for the encouraging words. Now I invite Dr. S. Jamil, Chairman, Parents Coordination Committee, Vice Chairman, Academic Committee, to just share his views about the program.
Very good morning to all of you. Please ring the bell after 3 minutes if I exceed that. Okay. Many congratulations to all my dear ones here, including the staff, the teachers, the students, and all the admin staff for having such a beautiful, such a awesome CCA fest which you are actually undergoing. The school is making a lot of progress and everybody's enjoying. We also need this kind of events in the schools to be able to have a kind of a feeling that we are growing and we are learning. So this is learning which is actually out of the class. Only a few things I'd like to share. Such events like Turncoat Debate basically brings out the importance of effective communication. Remember, the effectivity of communication defines relationship. If relationships are good because you are an effective communicator, everything in this whole world becomes very, very nice and good. Therefore, one has to be able to articulate all the views in a very effective way. If one is able to do that, he will become a winner in life. This is the only thing I'd like to share with all of you. Thank you for inviting me, and all the best for all the people who had made such a great effort to come. Excellent. Very, very excellent.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I invite Ms. Sneha to propose the vote of thanks.
Honorable members of the Honorable members of the Honorable members of the School Management Committee, respected Principal, Vice Principal, Assistant Vice Principal, Honorable Judges, teachers, non-teaching staff, participants, and my dear friends. A warm good morning to one and all present here. It is indeed my privilege to stand before you to place on records in contribution of all of you towards the success of today's event. We raise our hearts in gratitude and thank the Almighty for blessing us all with the delightful morning. From the bottom of my heart, I thank the Honorable President of the School Management Committee, Mr. Ram Santhanam, and other esteemed members of the School Management Committee in inculcating and nurturing the extracurricular activities among the students. It's indeed my pleasure to extend my sincere gratitude to our Honorable Judges, Dr. Rehan Raina, Action Researcher, Marketing Practitioner, Dr. S. Jamil, Chairman Parents Coordinating Committee, Vice Chairman Academic Committee, Member SMC, Dean of our University, and C.T. Ramasamy, Head of the Department, who are among us amidst their busy schedule. I also take this opportunity to convey my sincere gratitude to our beloved Principal, Mr. Tia Brown, Vice Principal, Ms. Omna Matthews, Assistant Vice Principal, Mr. Srinivasan, for their continuous guidance and support they have extended towards us. My sincere thanks to all the participants who indeed stole the show with their energetic performance, teaching and non-teaching staff, stage setters, sound and light professionals, photographers, and the audience who has added colors and festivity for the morning event. Once again, thanking one and all. Live a good day.
Now, class teachers, there's an important circular. All the students should receive one while you're going out. Distribute. Teachers check whether they got that circular. When you have to go back to your classes, the teachers will come back to your class and they will tell you what you have to do. Girls, as usual, start from that side. Others, wait. Sit down.